There is a mental technique, once guarded by elite warriors, that can permanently shut down the voice of insecurity in your mind. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to use it. But first, I need to ask you a serious question. How many opportunities have you missed? How many conversations have you stayed quiet in? How much of your own potential have you buried? Simply because a whisper in your head told you that you couldn't, or you shouldn't, or you weren't ready. That whisper has a name. It's not you. It's not your intuition. It's your self-doubt. And for centuries, there was a group of people who trained to eliminate it with ruthless efficiency. Not monks, not philosophers, warriors, the samurai. And their method wasn't about positive thinking. It was about a fundamental shift in perception that I'm going to show you today. We often think of self-doubt as a modern problem, a byproduct of social media or competitive workplaces or complex lives. But the truth is, this internal enemy is ancient. For a samurai, self-doubt wasn't just an inconvenience. It was a death sentence. A moment of hesitation on the battlefield meant oblivion. So they couldn't afford it. They developed, through their code of Bushido, a psychological framework to achieve a state of unshakable mental clarity. They called it Mizu no Kokoro, a mind like water. But this isn't just a poetic idea. It's a practical, trainable state of awareness. And the key to accessing it lies in understanding the two distinct voices inside your head. You see, most of us live in a state of internal dialogue where these two voices are merged. We can't tell them apart. The first voice is the observer. This is your true consciousness. It is calm, neutral, and simply witnesses reality. It says, the presentation is in 1 hour. The second voice is the commentator. This is the fabricator, the storyteller, the source of your self-doubt. It takes the observer's neutral data and layers on a story. It says, the presentation is in 1 hour, and you're going to forget everything, and everyone will see you're a fraud, and your career will be over. Sound familiar? The samurai's first task was learning to sever the connection between the observer and the commentator, to silence the storyteller without suppressing your awareness. How do you do that? You must catch the story in the act of being written. This is where we move from theory to practice. The forbidden method isn't about fighting the voice of doubt. Fighting it gives it power, gives it your energy and attention. The method is about dissolving it through precise recognition. I'm going to give you a 3-step process derived from this ancient discipline that you can use the next time that voice speaks up. Step 1. Label the narrative. When you feel the anxiety rise, the hesitation build, you must pause and internally say, this is a story. That's all. Don't argue with it. Don't try to replace it with a positive one. Just label it. I'm going to fail becomes, I am noticing the story that I am going to fail. Do you feel the subtle but massive shift there? You've created separation. You've moved from being the actor in the drama to being the critic watching the play. This is the observer awakening. Step 2. Trace the sensation. Self-doubt isn't just a thought. It manifests as a physical sensation. A tightness in the chest, a knot in the stomach, a heat in the face. After you label the narrative, immediately ask, where do I feel this in my body? Direct your attention to that exact physical location. Don't try to change it. Just feel it with curiosity, as if you're a scientist observing a strange phenomenon. This action pulls your energy out of the imaginary future your mind is creating and anchors it in the present moment, in your actual physical reality. The samurai trained to feel the grip of the sword, the stance of their feet, the breath in their lungs, to tether themselves to the now when fear arose. you are doing the same. But here's where most people stop, and it's why their doubt returns. They label it, they feel it, but they're still secretly believing the story. Which brings us to the critical third step: offer no resistance. This is the most counterintuitive part. You must allow the story and the sensation to be there. You say to it, "Okay, you can be here." This feels like surrender, but it's actually strategic dissolution. Why? Because the commentator, the voice of doubt, feeds on your resistance. It feeds on the energy you spend pushing it away, wrestling with it, being terrified of it. When you consciously allow it to exist, you cut off its food supply. You're not agreeing with the story. You're not saying it's true. You're simply ceasing to fight the experience of having the thought. A samurai in battle had to accept the possibility of death fully to be free from the paralyzing fear of it. This is your mental version of that acceptance. The wind does not break the reed that bends to greet it. When you combine these three steps, label the narrative, trace the sensation, offer no resistance, you execute a psychological maneuver that bypasses the thinking mind entirely. You're not using logic to argue with illogical fear. You're using awareness to disarm it. This is the essence of Mizu no Kokoro. Water does not resist a stone thrown into it. It receives it, ripples in response, and then returns to its calm, reflective state. That is your goal. Not to become a stone wall, rigid and brittle, but to become water, fluid and unbreakable. Now, let's talk about how to train this, to make it your default setting. This isn't a one-time trick. The samurai didn't just think about Bushido on the battlefield. They lived it in every tea ceremony, every stroll in the garden, every moment of daily life. You need a training ground, and your training ground is your mundane, everyday moments. The moment you feel a flash of irritation in traffic. The moment you feel a pang of insecurity scrolling online. The moment you hesitate before sending an email. These are your practice battles. In these small moments, run the drill. Label, trace, allow. Do it with the minor doubts and annoyances. You are building a neural pathway, a muscle memory of the mind. Then, when the major doubt arises, before the big presentation, the difficult conversation, the life-changing decision, the pathway is already built. You will default to the method, not to the panic. Let's address the big objection I know is forming. This sounds like passivity. If I accept my doubt, won't I just become complacent and never achieve anything? This is a crucial misunderstanding. This method doesn't kill ambition, it unleashes it. Right now, your greatest dreams are likely being held hostage by your fear of failure. The commentator is the hostage taker. By dissolving the commentator's power, you are not destroying the part of you that wants to grow. You're liberating it. Action that comes from a place of centered clarity is infinitely more powerful and effective than action that comes from a place of frantic insecurity. The samurai was incredibly ambitious, for mastery, for honor, for service. But his actions sprung from a calm mind, not a fearful one. Your goals deserve the same clarity. So, what does life look like on the other side of this practice? It's not a life without challenge or feeling. It's a life where challenges are met with resourcefulness, not panic. Where feelings are experienced as sensations that pass through you, not as commands you must obey. The voice of the commentator doesn't disappear forever. It may always whisper, but you will have changed your relationship to it. It will be like noticing background noise in a room. You acknowledge it, but it doesn't dictate your conversation. Your inner dialogue will finally be a dialogue with your true self, the observer, not a monologue of fear. Your doubt is a visitor. You decide if it becomes a tenant. This brings us to the final, most profound implication. When you consistently silence the false commentator, you begin to hear a different, quieter voice. The voice of the observer, your true self. This voice doesn't deal in frantic stories of future failure or past regret. It speaks in the present. It offers intuition, genuine insight, and calm guidance. This is the voice you've been waiting to hear your whole life. It was always there, just drowned out by the noise. The Forbidden Samurai method is, at its core, a hearing aid for your soul. I want you to try this. Right now, think of a small, current worry. Nothing catastrophic, just a nagging thought. Run the steps. 1. Label it. This is a story about. 2. Find where you feel it. Chest? Throat? Put your hand there. 3. Take a breath and consciously allow the feeling and thought to be there. Don't push. Just let it sit. Feel the slight shift, that tiny space that just opened up. That is your power. That is the beginning of Mizu no Kokoro, your mind like water. This channel, the inner dialogue, is dedicated to giving you these tools to master your inner world. If this video resonated with you, if you felt that shift even for a second, then you understand how powerful this can be. That's why I need you to do one thing for me and for yourself. If you found value here, please tap the like button. It tells the algorithm that this is meaningful content, and it helps the inner dialogue reach others who are stuck in that loop of doubt and are desperate for a way out. Thank you for watching. Remember, the warrior's greatest battle is never on the field. It's in the silence between their own thoughts. Win that battle, and you win everything.